Hi, I'm Flaw, and welcome to yet another video. Wuthering Waves 2.5 is out now and has been out for a day, and I want to talk about the story. This will contain full spoilers, so you have been warned. Putting Fenrico aside, I just want to talk about Phrolova and her relationship with Rover, and what a sad relationship it was. We run into Phrolova again in the Fabricatorium of the Deep after a run-in with Fenrico aboard his ship. Phrolova tells us about a gem that had Leviathan's power sealed within, and how she's come to take it back from the Order before they can use it. We work with Phrolova to recover the gem, and we painstakingly learn details about Frolova's past, about how she was the sole survivor of a village that was wiped out by a meteor, and how she's labored to find a way to bring back the people she lost that day, housing their lingering frequencies within the beyond, a sonorosphere connected to her life force, which occasionally causes her to hallucinate throughout the story quest. Throughout the story, it's clear that Phrolova had personal misgivings toward Rover, and we learn the truth that the Phrolova recovers and we inadvertently are dragged into the sonorosphere. There we learn of Frolova's backstory, and how the Rover was connected, being the person who gave her the hope that she could change the world. Rover promised her they would return to listen to her completed music, and stated that every promise matters, and that they see it through no matter the cost. That encouragement was the impetus that set Phrolova down her path to try and resurrect the dead through tacit discords, and how she joined the Fraxidus. All the while, Rover had already erased their memories, and in turn forgotten the promise they made to Phrolova. Phrolova calls Rover out on this when the two begin to fight over the gem, and this part of the story was brilliant. Rarely do the heroes in these type of games ever get their goals and motivations questioned or called out by the villain. And in a way, Phrolova is right. Rover didn't have any right to call her out on starting over and her futile attempts at raising the dead. Rover is trying to stop the laments, a seemingly impossible force of nature, and they have the audacity to say that Phrolova's goals are beyond her reach. The most controversial thing about this exchange is how Rover doesn't seem to acknowledge their own hypocrisy. How many times has Rover wiped their memory to start over? How many unkept promises and bodies has Rover stepped over in order to pursue their own goal of ending the lament once and for all? Personally, I love it and their conflicted reaction to killing Phrolova. They didn't know what to think. They refused to believe that they had a past with Phrolova until the very end. It makes me excited and eager to know how the writers will develop Rover further. At the end of the story, Phrolova is still alive as stated by the Rover. The gem is gone, taken by Cristoforo, and Phrolova is in the beyond. Regardless of your feelings on this ending, this is the best option for the writers if they decide to revisit Phrolova in the future. This story was incredible, as it didn't redeem Phrolova. It allowed us to understand her. There are some people who think that understanding an antagonist equals redemption, but that isn't true. You can understand that a serial killer had abusive parents and never made friends in school, but that doesn't excuse nor justify their actions. Phrolova lost her friends and family to the cruelty of nature, but that loss doesn't excuse the crimes she committed in the meanwhile. She still joined Fraxidus. She still participated in human experimentation. She's still taken lives in the pursuit of her forever, and the story doesn't make any attempt to justify her actions. Her goal is entirely selfish, and there's no greater good she's fighting for. She's just a sad little girl who wants her old life back. Thanks for watching.